The Prince Harry horror show rolled into New York last night, and I say horror show for him because if he was ever worried about being the spare within the royal family, then just take a look at his face here as he arrived.
Just when the royal family celebrates a milestone, Meghan Markle makes headlines with a strange, unexpected interview about Archie that's raising eyebrows. Critics say it's no coincidence. As Prince Louis captured the public's heart with his birthday and royal appearances, Meghan suddenly steps in with a media move that's bizarre at best.
At the time event where he was playing second fiddle as ever to his wife, that's the look on his face when he comes to the understanding that he's not going to get any special treatment now that he's simply a little bit of royal arm candy for Ms. Markle. Now, I'm going to come to what was quite simply a bat crazy interview in just a moment. Full of lies, full of distortions, full of a complete ignorance about the fact that this is a woman who has a catalogue of bullying complaints about her, and we'll get analysis from royal YouTube sensation according to Taz. But before we get there, it is just worth taking a look at some of the oddities of this New York appearance. So firstly, the outfit. The outfit, which was both a ripoff of Princess Diana and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, although some wags online argued that at least those two knew how to use an iron. Royal Wales said she did it better and her suit was ironed correctly. Then, the security madness. Despite proving that it was absolutely unnecessary to have this four-car motorcade just a couple of weeks ago at the theatre, pictures obtained by Page 6 showed Harry, Meghan, and their bodyguards had 2 SUVs and 2 unmarked police vehicles. Of course, this was all perfectly timed as well in order to steal the attention from Prince Louis. Do you remember those beautiful pictures that were released yesterday by Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Prince William showing the young lad turning 7 with his teeth out of his mouth? And it was lovely to see that, wasn't it? Oh, well, guess what? Meghan just totally coincidentally decided that within this interview she would reveal that Prince Archie, the royal who we never get to lay eyes on, has apparently also, or is just about to lose his teeth. So that's the setup, but let's get to the interview itself. And I have to say, the chief executive of Time magazine did an absolutely shocking job of proving that she was anything other than a fangirl, because the introduction to this interview set the tone of self-congratulations while ignoring the reality.
In today's video, we unpack the timing, the backlash, and why so many are calling this a desperate PR stunt. You do not want to miss this one, so what happened? Out of nowhere, Meghan Markle gave a new interview where she gushed about Archie, his curiosity.
So in some ways, this interview was actually going to be very interesting because you could tell right from the start it was Meghan who was driving the narrative, and she was going to paint a picture of her completely wacky world that didn't at all line up with the reality of what we know is going on. So just remember Harry's face. Just remember, actually, let's look at it once more. Harry's face arriving at that event when he has the realization of the fact that he is now a spare to a D-list actress. He is probably more unhappy than he has ever been in his life. But not if you listen to the top line of Meghan's confession. Watch.
I think a confession for you today that I could very comfortably say is I'm the happiest that I've ever been. And that part, to have a partner and a husband who is just so supportive, and to have healthy kids that are so joyful in the freeness of their life and the safety of their life that we create for them. I never, of all the things that have happened in my life, I never would have imagined getting here at this point. I would feel just so happy and grateful, and I really do. Well, that's too nice.
Ash, wow, where to begin? You go.
Honestly, there's so much just watching those few clips running around my brain at the moment. Of course she's happy. Of course she's absolutely at peak happiness, Dan. This is a woman that was being written out of suits, that was running out of time in being able to get other acting roles. She had rental cars, she had a rental apartment. You know, time was not on her side anymore. She got with Harry. And fast forward, now she's on the Time 100 list. She's got a kid's book out. She's had a couple of podcasts. I mean, she's now selling jam because it's her jam. I mean, everything that she's got, the 16-bathroom mansion, is all because she, at the right timing, with the right connections at Soho House, married, well, basically found Harry and got him to marry her. So yeah, I mean, what woman wouldn't be elevated if that's your goal in life, to be a social climber or a gold digger? She won the lottery, Dan. No wonder she's sitting there happy.
The thing is, I just don't buy it. I think she is also actually deeply unhappy at the moment because it hasn't worked out the way that she hoped, which was going to be all of this glamour, all of this money, all of this power without having to do any work. And actually, the Royal News Network posted after seeing that part of the interview saying Meghan's confession to the Time 100 summit is that she's the happiest I've ever been. I feel like the more Prince Harry and Meghan keep saying that, the more miserable they are in reality. I guess the difference, Tash, between Meghan and Harry is that Meghan is a professional actress, not a particularly good one, but you know, she knows how to turn on the tears, or she knows how to pretend to be happy, whereas Harry, he can't fake it. He can't fake his misery, his absolute horror. And I will say Meghan is a pretty good liar. Because like all of her interviews, and you know I just use that L word now, lies, lies, lies everywhere.
Yeah.
And I want to point out one of the main ones, Tash, and I'll get your reaction off the back. But this is when she claimed that she doesn't go online. You know, so all of this reaction to every little thing that she sees online on her Instagram page or in her favourite magazines, where does that come from? Well, apparently not from Meghan, because she doesn't look at it all. And folk like you and I, Tash, and people watching this, you know, what saddos, we're all just caught in the swirl.
His big questions, even a few personal stories. Sounds innocent, right? Except the interview hit just as Prince Louis turned 7, and his adorable royal portraits were everywhere. Royal fans immediately noticed the timing. Meghan's media drop was almost to the hour of Louis's birthday content. Coincidence? Not everyone thinks so.
Oh, a lot of us. I mean, firstly, Tash, before we get to that, I'm just going to say it. Poor Archie. Archie so desperately needs to be in the UK with his cousins, because don't you just get the sense that Meghan is not going to be happy unless this prince ends up a non-binary with a tongue piercing and purple hair?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've got no idea how obviously Archie and Lily are going to turn out. The fact that they don't seem to have any sort of normal childhood away from, I don't know, they're completely away from all of their family, all of their cousins. You don't see them anywhere doing anything with their parents at all. And obviously Meghan always talks about being a mother is her priority as she goes to the theatre in New York, as Harry's off somewhere else. I mean,
what happened to that rule? What happened to that rule, by the way, Tash, that they were always going to leave one of them because they were such hands-on parents? Oh, that rule has gone out the window. That was just another lie. But I found that interview really interesting, though, because she is so clearly saying that her priority is Lily over Archie because she is a girl and not a boy.
You got
and
that
too. The raising of Archie is all about just ensuring that he's okay for women. It's a very, very odd way to raise a young boy. And it's why we have so much problem today with masculinity.
Of course. He's going to be brought up that everything's going to be toxic masculinity. He needs to be completely pussy whipped like his father is. I mean, he's going to grow up in that environment. Yeah, it's just everything to do with Meghan when she talks about the children. Nothing seems real. It doesn't seem like, I don't know, maybe it's a California thing. Maybe it's the sort of people that she's bringing them up with. Maybe it's all this word salad waffle that, they all talk to each other. I mean, even when she talks to her friends, they all seem to be saying the same conversations. It's the same words. And it's going to be a very strange environment for the children in comparison if you compare them to what, say, the Prince and Princess of Wales children have grown up in. And I would say that they're growing up in a far more stable world. Healthy, happy children.
Totally.
Like you said, I mean, Prince Louis looks so happy with his little toothless grin and the video clip they shared. That's just a normal, healthy child that loves the outdoors, spending time with his family and his cousins. And you see all the other cousins as well interacting. But you only ever see the backs or arms or a limb of Archie and Lily, and they're always around adults, never ever playing with other children. So whenever she mentions the children, it just, I don't know, nothing ever seems to ring true.
No, totally. And you also just know, and this is why he's a broken man. And again, as you know, Tash, I have zero sympathy for the guy. But that is the type of rhetoric that is constantly put into Harry's head as well. It's like all about me because I'm the female founder. I'm the woman. You are there for me. And let's get on to the podcast because we're sort of living in a complete parallel universe in this Time 100 stage, Tash, where you would think that Meghan Markle is Joe Rogan, that she has a successful podcast, one of the biggest flop podcasts in the world, and Archetypes and Confessions of a Female Founder is certainly heading in that direction. But there's a really fascinating moment where Nancy Sidley, who is the woman at Time, who says that who do you want to get on your podcast or your show? And Meghan, you can just see she's absolutely horrified because we know who she wants to get. She wants to get Taylor Swift. She wants to get Beyonce. She even wants to get, what was it? One of those rappers, I don't know, Ty the Stallion. Is that right? The name?
Oh.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's asked so many people. They've all said no. And so very quickly you see her buying time and desperately grasping for a name that she can use. It's a very, very instructive moment.
Social media exploded. Royal watchers accuse Meghan of hijacking the moment. Comments like, let the kid have his birthday, and she can't stand being out of the spotlight, flooded Twitter and Instagram.
Is not had on your show or your podcast, who would you want to get and mention today?
Is this the hook? Is this the bait that we're putting out? I will say I have been so fortunate that even before the series had aired, in talking about what the premise was and how conversational and more relatable we wanted it to be, I was able to get legends like Alice Waters, who she's amazing. I just love her so much, and we've now become friends. Having her on the show, and also other friends as well who we haven't revealed things about season 2, and Ted will come here later, but I can apologize in advance for saying, Jose Andres is going to be on season 2, and we love Jose so much. So I think my wish list has been, I've bbeen fortunate to have the people that I want on the show. And if I think of someone else, I'm going to have to figure out a way to tell you so you could put that out there.
Perfect.
But no, I've been really lucky. We have a great lineup.
And
no, there's no one else I want. I've had Alice Waters and I've had this Jose. Who's this Jose, Tash? Can you enlighten me, please?
He's World Central Kitchen. He's the guy that set that up, who I'm surprised that they're still choosing to work with because he's also teamed up with the Earthshot Prize and Prince William. And you know how silly Harry is. You would have thought that would have had him cut off. But I think...
Okay, so he's a minor league chef or a big league chef.
Yes, he is.
But I mean, not a household name.
He allows them to use them for when they're pretending that they're philanthropists again. They can go work in a soup kitchen or something with him, So
I mean, I just found that hilarious when we know that she has been asking all of these A-listers.
Gwyneth, they teamed up together. You would have thought she would have been begging Gwyneth, saying, hey, I appeared in your video to stop all of the backlash. Are you going to be on my podcast? I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow, I tune in to listen to her. She has actually built up a hugely successful business. She's got years in the industry and, a successful acting career. And yeah, everybody, it turns out, is just much like the king ignoring when his youngest son calls. Everyone's like, we're just going to pretend that we're not in today. It's that whole ducking behind the sofa when the doorbell rings. Nobody's interested. But you could see her brain trying to process it. Like you said, as soon as the interviewer asked her, you could see word salad loading, and she was trying her best.
By the way, that woman who we just saw there, I've got to correct myself, is Jessica Sibley. That is the chief executive of Time. Nancy Sidley is, of course, from the brilliant Sidley twins, who I absolutely adore.
I know, I was going to say to you, I was like, I'm sure that's...
No, you're very kind for not correcting me. But the reason she's on my mind, though, is because I was thinking of these two posts on X by Nancy Sidley, which were just brilliant. I'll show you them now. Firstly, she wrote, Meghan is ready in case Harry tries to walk beside her with that little arrow. And it's so funny. You can literally see it. Stay back. You may be the real royal, but in New York, I'm the queen. And then she also posts Meghan and Harry step out in NYC because, of course, it's Prince Louis's birthday. And we know that there was that tooth comment, which we'll come to in just one moment.
Yes.
Also, Tash, apparently we're just not cool enough. It's Megan the Stallion, who was the rapper who she had asked to appear. Yes. So I
remember the Stallion. There's so many Megans. There's too many Megans, isn't there?
Well, one is quite enough. Okay, then, because there's more. I mean, this interview is so bad. I promise you. So next, we get the most over-the-top performative answer when flour sprinkles are raised. As if she hasn't just made flour sprinkles really the only big concept of her new TV show.
Even mainstream outlets started picking up the heat. Piers Morgan called it, well, typical Sussex timing. Others called it a calculated move to redirect press coverage. And let's be real. Meghan's media moves are rarely accidental. Timing is everything in PR, and this timing, it's loud.
See, I think this shows the types of people she hangs around with, Tash, because I'm going to let you in on a secret. If I'm at a restaurant and they put edible flowers on my food, I'm genuinely furious. I mean, the first thing I do is literally pick them off. I think it's weird. Like, I don't want to eat flowers. I find that quite a creepy idea. I don't think flowers are things that you eat. And maybe I'm in the minority, but does it really give people that much joy?
According to Meghan, everything gives joy. Flowers in ice cubes, flowers everywhere. I mean, the flower sprinkles on the donuts, that could be quite a nice touch, I suppose, if that's your thing. But when she started putting it on frittatas and eggs and, of course, the crudité boards, I mean, she literally was putting flower sprinkles on everything. And because I'd already seen that the exact same mix of flower sprinkles you can buy for bunny and guinea pig food, and it's the exact same concoction, the same coloured flowers. I'm like, she's literally sprinkling rabbit food onto absolutely everything, adding like she said herself, she's this little fairy. She's like a glitter fairy.
I knew it was gross in some way.
Yes.
This is why exactly I pick them off. It's always at one of those restaurants that are just more concerned. And I feel like this is totally what Meghan is all about and what With Love is all about. More concerned with appearances than food, because we know Meghan doesn't eat much, not after the ZMEP injections. You know, she has no true love for food. And so it's all about making things look great. Whereas with me, I'm all about, no, I want the food that tastes great. Okay, then the most extraordinary thing, Tash, and this clip is quite something for two reasons. So firstly, it's where we see her totally out of nowhere decide to add in the fact that Archie is losing his front tooth, which we know she purposefully did because it was the same day that the Prince Louis pictures had come out. Because you'll watch this and it just comes from nowhere. Like,
doesn't make
even
sense.
Jessica Sibley's like, what? Why are you talking about this? But the answer actually starts with her being so insane when it comes to what as ever means. She says that as ever is actually about connecting people and being grounded. I mean, in other words, salad, by the way, because actually it's like
You
my
just
kids
can't
are
even
most
make
important,
logical
but I'm
sense
still
out of
doing
it.
all the work. Exactly.
Yeah,
But there's no way she raised that tooth line without knowing about Louis.
So, was Meghan's interview a harmless mum moment, or a calculated move to pull attention from Prince Louis? Either way, the backlash is real, and the Sussex PR strategy just took another hit. Sound off in the comments. Was this another coincidence, or a classic case of Sussex timing gone too far? Smash that like button if you're tired of the royal drama, and make sure to subscribe for more brutally honest takes on the royal circus every single week. This isn't just royalty, it's reality. Catch you in the next one.